What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Regis Prograis. Teofimo Lopez 2 times. Regis Prograis says that Lopez will absolutely not fight him next. Mentally, he is crumbling. Prograis isn't going to dwell on a fight that probably won't happen anytime soon. The WBC 140-pound titleist from New Orleans recently shut down the prospect of him defending his belt against Teofimo Lopez, the former unified lightweight champion and current junior welterweight contender. Per the WBC rankings, Lopez is the highest rated contender to be in line for Prograis' title. The development comes after Jose Ramirez declined an opportunity to face Prograis, citing an unfair purse split of 65-35, which was in favor of Prograis. Prograis feels strongly that Lopez, who is coming off a somewhat underwhelming split decision over Sandor Martin in December, will mimic Ramirez's actions, despite recent claims from Lopez's father insisting that we're going to beat the out of him. He says, absolutely not, Prograis said. When asked if Lopez would fight him in an interview with ID Boxing, he said, I don't think he's going to take that fight with me. It's bull. Bro, listen, that's what people do in boxing these days. They say, oh, I'm a fight when they know the fight is not going to happen. They're going to say, oh, I'm a fight him next. I saw his daddy say he wants to fight me in April. Okay, let's see if it's going to happen. People are going to say that they want the fight, but it's going to be some more bull. The same thing with Ramirez split or something. They're going to say, oh, I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to this. And the fight not going to happen. That's what people are doing these days. That's how it's going in boxing. That's what people are going to do. Those are the words of Regis Prograis. He also said, mentally he is crumbling, said Prograis, who won the WBC belt. Mentally he is not there. Listen, I like Teo. I don't want to say nothing bad about him. I like him and stuff, but if he fights me, I feel like I'm going to hurt him. I keep saying the same thing. If I hurt Teo, I will hurt Teo. He can have the flash. He can have the speed. He can have all that stuff. But I feel like if I hurt Teo, I know mentally he's not stronger than me. So mentally, I'm going to break him. I already know mentally I will crush him. I will crush him in a mental battle. I will crush him. He can have all that stuff. So those are the words of Regis Prograis. And let me counterpunch. The mental struggle thing, the whole concept of Teo struggling mentally. Well, it's showing. It shows. You see people that struggle with things mentally. We've seen it from Wilder. We've seen it from Joshua. Now we're seeing it from Teo. It's the things that they're doing after the fact. Teo won a fight and he was asking, do I still have it? Something's wrong up there. And it's more than that. He had personal problems. Man, personal problems, bro. It's amazing what stress can do to your human body, let alone your mind. So I'm not knocking Teo, man. I think, if you've ever been in love, if you've ever had a family and then that family becomes in jeopardy, what do you think it's going to do to your professional life, the things that you do for money, especially an art form of combat? What do you think it's really going to do? Okay, it's going to hinder that. It's going to deter that. It's going to affect that. So Teo, asking, hey, I still got it. He's asking the people that are around him, like, look, you're my boy, you're my friend, you're my confidant. Do I still have this? Because, this performance, let's face it, wasn't what I expected it to be. You know what I mean? So we see that outer explanation from Teo, like, oh, he's a runner, he's scared. But then we also heard a sneak peek on what was spoken on the inside. And what was spoken on the inside is something that he really wanted to know. Now you see Teo on social media and he's still training, is this, that, and the other. I think he needs that. I think he needs to stay busy because as you could also see, that things are not, they're not perfect with him and his missus, him and his significant other, his wife or whatever, because you could see he wanted a child, he couldn't have a child. I've seen 1,000 kids come in there and getting a little baby, wrapped around people's shoulders, and they holding children and everything. You know what I mean? That happens all the time. I've seen it. So I don't think that they're where they should be. You know what I mean? Just based on the body language. You don't have to hear anything to see, okay, that couple ain't happy. Okay, so I think maybe that's his biggest problem, Tio. You know what I mean? And then we just seen some flaws from Tio based on the style that someone possessed. Okay, is he still a talented fighter? Hell yes. Bars. I think Teofimo Lopez is a good fighter. I think at times, after the Lomachenko fight, I think he got a bit delusional. A lot of things went to his head. But the same thing happened to the person that beat him. And, George Kambosos did the same thing. And he got humbled too. So, those type of things happen with people. It's just a process of what you go through to bring you down to the ground, okay? And make you realize, like, look, I can be beat also. But of Regis Prograis saying that he's mentally broken, he wants to fight, and, let's see if it happens. Well, one thing we haven't heard from this article that I would like to hear is, when are you being the champion, the WBC light welterweight champion, when are you going to send a contract to him? That's what I'm not seeing from this. Like, yeah, people talk a lot and people do talk. He's right. But as far as that goes, like, look, I'm going to send my guy to send the info to that guy because he's already saying the verbal stuff. Let's see if he can talk or walk as much as he can talk, right? Let's see that when I send that contract to him to see if he signs the freaking thing. Right? So I think that's what we need to really look at. And I think that's what Regis should be talking about because, yeah, a lot of people talk, but then a lot of people then don't apply the action behind the talk. It's just talk. It's all publicity. Well, let's go beyond publicity. Let's send a contract over to Team Tio and see if they're ready, to see if they're willing, to see if they want that fight too. Because, yeah, the dad, we know he's going to talk. My son, he's going to talk, right? So at the end of the day, I feel that Regis Prograis, if he says and he feels that these guys only talk, let's see if he can walk by sending over something concrete. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Regis Prograis stating that Tio will not fight him next. He's convinced that he's all talk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!